Full on, this is Orclad. I just realized I was muted for the first few minutes. Yeah, we'll just hop right into the studying. I was finishing up a show with my mom, Better Late Than Single, and I'm honestly kind of yeah, some of the stuff that happened was kind of but it was a better dating show than most I've seen, so that was fine. Yeah, would recommend. We'll see if my mom... Oh, that's really loud. We'll see if my mom wants to watch the next series after, because there's another series of this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I'm gonna wait until Thursday to finish coming up with a project. Yeah, I'll just keep studying different methods. Oh, okay, the gain resets on the mic. I guess that's just a natural thing that happens with it. Okay. So classic linear regression models, continuous response variables, and normal distribution. Others could be binary, count, or non-normal. Welcome in, AB. Hello, hello. How are you today? I finished the show with my mom, so now I am studying until pretty darn late, I think, tonight. We'll see exactly how late. Getting ready for uni? Okay, well, I hope you have some good classes, because yeah, you get it, yeah. With the pivot to data science, I set up a meeting with one of my old lab members who did like data stuff for a long time. So getting his perspective and also maybe his advice on what I should be learning. Because he only left the field maybe a few years ago. I think he's still consulting within the field, so he might have some really good advice for me. Because I already have the advice from someone around my age, so I'll have like the old head, the new head kind of perspectives. But yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't think any of them are going to help me get a job, but at least I have contacts that can help me with getting an idea. You're staying away from CS. Yeah. I mean, after the degree, my professor and we both agreed, oh yeah, Aura, you're probably not like interested in the coding stuff. But for this field, yeah, I kind of need to do it. Yeah, my brother, my dad is computer engineering. I mean, most of his work after the computer stuff wasn't related to that degree, but when it comes to like file systems, all these different coding languages, he has a lot of experience with them. But yeah, he didn't push it too much on me. My mom came in with the dog because she's trying to eat something, and the dog is, of course, going to want some. Yeah. Yeah, the most I ever had to do was AP Comp Sci, so not too bad. Yeah, if you're getting ready for uni. I think some classes I do miss, but a lot of the time, yeah, I mean, I don't think the classes are ever that bad for me. It was just making it to the classes. You can easily get a job. IT sector is hard to work right now with the lack of work. Yeah. Data sciences too. But it's like the main pivot that I can think of doing. That also has, I guess, like salary that I'm looking for, because yeah, I think at the start of the PhD, the idea of industry jobs kind of felt like selling my soul and like not following like passion and stuff. But yeah, at the current point of my life, I kind of need the stability, if I can actually grab it. The world's already dealing with a lack of docs on. Yeah. I think a lot of us can relate. A lot of us can relate about this kind of stuff. And then it's always like, oh, I hope that once I'm done with whatever thing I'm doing right now, things will look better. I think for a time after I graduated college, some stuff looked pretty good, but yeah, I think during the PhD things looked okay too. And then all of a sudden the last couple of years happened, and that's like, with the lab's funding, my professor is like, or yeah, you should probably just graduate. I think it's for both like relative stability within the lab environment, in terms of like getting grants to actually fund myself, that kind of stuff. Welcome in, Liz. Hello. Thank you for the hydrate. I'll wet myself. Yeah, I was told that I'm not gonna ask like how long it'll take for you to graduate, but yeah, I was told by my professor if I was looking for postdocs, and yeah, if you want to stay in academia, I think this is something that I didn't really come to terms with when choosing to do the PhD, but for academia, like postgrad degrees, to a degree you do get to technically choose where you go, but in many cases you do have to go with what you grab, or get what you can. He said that for like postdoctoral stuff, France is hiring as of last year. I think, yeah, quite a few European countries are definitely where to look at. The one advantage for postgrad in the US is the fact that you're domestic. So if you're doing like grad degrees that require GRE subject test, and even with like grades and accomplishments, it's actually definitely easier to get into grad school in the US as a domestic person or a domestic citizen, compared to an international student. So yeah, that's what I would say. I mean, also depends on what you're actually working on, where the good people are. Yeah, it's really nice. Thanks to Kairos Ray for drawing it last week or last week. I think it was last week. It looks like I'm one of those like old grandmas hunched over and like telling the kids about her youth and how she got all the guys in high school, and then how she blew off that one other guy. It's a 3-year. Yeah, isn't that bad? Yeah. That's if you don't want to do super specialization as well. Yeah, I mean, grad school I don't think is terrible, especially if you know how to apply and make yourself look attractive as a candidate. Whole 20 stream streak. Yeah, this is a way later stream than usual, like an hour and a half later. an hour and a half to 2 hours later. So yeah, at least I'm staying consistent on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Sunday's up in the air. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You have the US passport, so yep. Yeah. Back in my days, your grandma was the looker. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm single, so I can't say that. Yeah, I'm just gonna hope that I can apply and get something. Yo, Ari, welcome back. Hello, hello. Look, wait, is it on? What the heck? It's activated, right? Hold up. Yo, one sec. What happened? Should I reset this? Yeah, wait. Hold up, Ari. Let me just test really quick. Wait, why is it showing up now? The heck? Yeah, your message didn't show up. I don't know why. It should be. I'm gonna reload, I think. Yeah, what the heck? It says it's already added. Huh, I have no idea why it doesn't show up. But yeah, welcome in, Ari. Hello, hello. We're just going to be looking at some different methods for data science stuff today. Alright, yeah. Have a safe drive, baby. Have a very safe drive. Go do the learning as a single whole person. Yeah, so right now I'm just reviewing the notes I took last time on this stuff. I realized I kind of forgot a bunch of it because it was last week. Yeah, you ain't doing that. Because you're not on the Barry stream right now. Is Barry in the room with us right now? No. Yeah, okay, so other than the random forest methods, generalized linear methods, usually for non-normal distribution for the response variable, so y variable isn't distributed normally. We have a multivariate problem. You could have a bunch of different types of distributions for your response variable. So like binary, we just have zeros and ones. We have those link functions. I think I need to take a look at how these link functions actually work. Oh yeah, also... Oh, that's not the right one. Let's copy that bongo cat. Alright. The song's really soft, huh? I'm gonna switch the song. Such a prolific bunker. What do you mean? I'm just doing it because they added new achievements and I need to achieve. I talked yesterday about my old college classmate, and she went to the seminar that told her that she needed to achieve. And we asked her what they told her she needed to achieve. And she just said, I don't know. They just told me to achieve, so I knew to achieve. Yeah, there's a couple there. I thought I was already done with the crazy amounts of clicks. Have a lobby with 5 players. Dang. Yeah, there's like 10, 25 million bongo beats. 25 million of these bongo beats. That's so dumb. Oh wait. Okay, so again, I finished Better Late Than Single with my mom. This Korean dating show about people who are in their late 20s who have never dated before. Trying to find love at this oh no, it's any keystroke or click. So right click is a bongo, that's a bongo, this is a bongo. Yeah, the way I build up most of my bongo clicks are either by playing League of Legends or by typing in people's chats. That's where I get the most bongo beats. Yeah, so we finished the show tonight, and it was kind of understandable why some of the guys had been single, because the way that they acted, don't even know if it's like the editing, but the way that they acted was so cringe sometimes. It was like, it just felt really uncomfortable watching them struggle. Like, one of them forgot a very, very important thing about the woman that he was trying to pair up with. Like, really, really important. To the point where if you were a regular person and you heard her talk about it, you would have that crud on the top of your mind and you forgot. Or like this other guy that she talked about it with, and he just did stuff that pretty much would have ignored what she said, and I was like, man. The first dating show that I've actually finished or watched more than one episode of, and I was it was still entertaining as heck though, because my mom and I would just be like, why did they just do that? Why did they do that? Or the first few episodes was, who is who? I forget. Like, we recognize them by what they look like, but we forget their names all the time. Variants and other terms. Yeah, I was gonna look this up. Is that how you spelled it? That's the city. Error variance is equal to constant across all variables, or all values of an independent variable. Oh. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. I can see why. Because this here, like, is this actually a line? And then this one is like, oh yeah, it's probably a line. Same finite variance. Right. Okay, maybe I don't need that. So there are a bunch of different exponentials that you can have. Y is the outcome variable. We have natural parameter, canonical parameter. Phi is the dispersion parameter. A phi b theta, cy theta, or cy phi are functions that specify the form of the distribution. So error distribution. It's a linear predictor. Looks like the multiple regression equation. Yeah. That makes me so uncomfortable. Okay. Linear predictor. It looks like the multiple regression equation does in fact assume linear relationships between the predictors given a response variable with the link function to do so. Okay, yeah, I remember that. Because if we go up, I mean, we saw a few of them just now, but yeah, this equation. So if you look at the multiple regression equation, that's this. So I guess, like, other than the error term, you can see how it's pretty much the same. But that's only through the link function. So instead of just y, the response variable, now we have this eta function, eta link function. And you have different formulas for that. I think I skipped over, I skipped over the regression types. Ray-chan, hello. Thank you for hydrate. I've wet myself. Let's go. Hello. Have you still been going to sleep at better times? only stopping by, I'm hoping because, oh, you're in study hall too. Heck yeah, let's go. And mental health, same, let's go. Emotional health, this is the third time I'm bringing it up. My mom and I finished a Korean dating show tonight, and because of that, I have had some different emotions tonight. Welcome, NG. Hello, hello. Not sure if I can help you with something because whatever I'm doing right now, it's like, I'm not sure if I'm like a general tutor. I was studying for next week's exam with some noise. G. Oh. If it's like math related, there's like a very small chance that I might be okay. Like advice for studying? JEE. Is it like a general exam? Math, physics, chemistry, all? Oh, geez. Let's see. Study tips. I mean, when it comes to studying, I feel like everyone needs different methods. I don't think I've ever really learned too well by just writing down notes and like reading through stuff over and over again. If it's like the memorization stuff, then yeah, flashcards I think have always been, I mean, they're kind of a hassle to make, but I do think that flashcards can help you with just like rote memorization of just connecting two things. For math, unfortunately, I feel like math is pretty much like a muscle. So if you're able to get practice problems, like if your school has practice problems for you, or like you have a teacher that can generate them for you. Actually, I don't know if like most people would say probably just use AI and have it generate a bunch of problems for you. But yeah, math wise, I think generally just keep doing more and more problems. Because the more problems that you do for the math, the more you can actually pick up on those patterns. Unfortunately, like, yeah, it's really time consuming, but that's how I built up my math skills. Physics wise, unfortunately for me, physics, like, it should be logical, but whenever I try to do the logic in my head, sometimes the actual physics is the complete opposite of what I think it should be. But if you think of physics like logic, and especially if it's like mechanics, just have relations between the concepts in the physics problems to stuff that you've seen in your own life. Because like, I don't know if you've done any electricity and magnetism, but the right hand rule, like you have a right hand rule for your electric field, magnetic field, and your force. And if you're able to just like look at your hand and just reference that, then that really, really helps with like memorizing that kind of stuff. Or like, yeah, just imagining with like a plane of friction, like if you had a triangle and then you're like sliding a box down it with friction. A lot of those force diagrams, yeah, a lot of these kinds of things, it does end up just kind of being like, you imagine the gravity pulling down on the box and then the table's going to have to push back or else the table's going to start moving. So that's why you have the gravitational force and you have the normal force up here. You have your static friction, applied force, yeah. So like force diagrams wise, it is kind of just like visualizing what's happening. Chemistry, yeah, I'm a chem major. I don't know for the, is the JEE like a university exam? No, I had to look it up. I don't know if, yeah, we have someone who is a university student in India right now, but he's on his way to class right now. He's on his way to class. And I don't know if he's ever taken the JEE. Yeah, if he was around, if he was still around as in like 10 minutes ago, he could probably help you out. Is it like, wait. Engineering college. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so I don't know. I mean, Indian education for chemistry, I can actually assure you is like better than. I grew up in the US, and yeah, American chemistry in high school is not taught as well as in India. The only thing I can go off of, yeah, actually, because I think like in the Indian curriculum does have some like organic chemistry as far as I know. But at least for AP chemistry, which is the highest level in the US as like a high school course, there's only really 4 classes of I think it was like 4 classes of chemical equations that you have. This is not what I was thinking of. Acid base, I think it, yeah, redox reactions, acid base, I think synthesis, and then decomposition. So these 4. If the exam is mostly on chemical equations, then pretty often, if you just look at the reactants, like if you know your PRF table well enough, if you just look at the reactants, you can typically figure out. Oh yeah, combustion reactions. That's what we usually have. If you look at the reactants, you can usually tell what type of reaction it is. Yeah, and that helps inform you like how to handle it. So yeah, I think most high school reactions for acid base are Arrhenius acids and bases, so just be on the lookout for the hydrogen hydroxide. Anything CHN reacting with O2, that's your combustion reactions. If you have metal like iron or something, you're probably looking at redox. Synthesis, in this case, I'm not too sure how to memorize that kind of stuff. Oh, okay. Oh wait, sorry. Sorry, right. Stop thinking of current dating shows, thinking how pretty sunsets are when the sun hits. I know, I had a pretty sunset like yesterday. Thank you for all this advice. Alright, good night, Ray-chan. Good night. Advanced IQ questions. Oh, yeah, I see. The dimensionless quantity is written as e to the alpha, epsilon to the beta, Planck to the gamma, speed of light to the delta. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta is given by... Yeah, this is what I mean by the Indian curriculum is much harder than the US one. Because even your E and M, like this you'd probably see in college in the US. You wouldn't see it in high school. Your caliper is 0.1 centimeters. 10 divisions of radio scale. Oh. Okay. The measurement errors and non print quality. Yeah, I can see why you're really worried. Oh, you're even using calc here, or series expansion pre-calc here. Yeah, it's gonna have to be like really focused studying on picking up the patterns of how they write these questions. I'm gonna assume that you hopefully get some equation sheets. Yeah, I can't do most of these problems with what I have in my head right now. Oh yeah, these. Yeah, a lot of these ones are just cosines and sines. And then first order differential. Yeah, this one's second order cosine sines. Yeah, I might say just take the practice problems that you can find, group them into specific groups that are relatively similar questions. Because I think just memorizing the patterns of how to solve the problems is easier than just knowing how to solve it off the top, or right off the bat. Oh, okay. They give info. Yeah, if other Asian countries' curricula around this level, then yeah, it is really just memorizing the patterns of, or just building up the muscle memory of the patterns for how to solve the problems. because then that makes it so that it becomes an issue of knowing enough rather than knowing everything. You know enough about how one problem is supposed to go that's kind of similar, and then you work off of that knowledge. Yeah, engineering is not an easy major. Yeah, you're going through thermodynamics too. So this exam is like a mix of the highest level AP physics that you can take in the US plus like a bit more difficulty. And then current electricity. I hated electricity and magnetism. Okay, actually electricity, yeah, mind you, I took these classes maybe more than a decade ago, so I'm a bit far off from remembering anything. Yeah, electricity was fine. Magnetism, inertia. I did not like these problems. I really did not like these problems. You learn, that's it. How can I make my physics strong from 0? I mean, like, from 0 is a hard thing to say. Dude, I would probably just, yeah. I was telling G earlier. Got it. JE. Yeah, you kind of just have to relate physics concepts to how you understand how things work in real life. So like throwing a ball, you know, it's gonna move in a parabola, or at least like it depends on how hard you throw it to, what angle you throw it at. So that's your basic like ball throwing physics arc, whatever. And then eventually you connect it to the math to calculate stuff. If it's stuff that you can't really see, like electricity, that one, I think you just need, I mean, a lot of physics stuff, you just need someone to teach you. If you're trying to go into a physics degree, you really do kind of need a teacher. It's really, really hard to learn physics by yourself. I don't know about nowadays with the resources that are available, but looking back at the physics classes I had in college, I would not be able to learn that stuff myself. So I majored in engineering. It sure did feel hard, yeah. I mean, instead of chemistry, if I did chemical engineering, I think I'd have a lot more money right now. But I decided to go into regular chemistry because I liked it better. Oh, you did multivariate in high school too? Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, they taught it better in my high school than they did in the college I went to. So I didn't go to class. Actually, yeah, linear algebra, differential equations, I just didn't go to class because it was faster for me to learn it myself. But yeah, that's because I had the baseline of how to learn it from taking it in high school. Yeah, I In sophomore year, I decided that I was going to try to go for a physics double major with chemistry. But I went into the modern physics class not actually knowing what the difference between classical and modern physics were, which, as you can probably tell, was pretty confusing. Yeah, it was not a good experience. You really need to build it up from the foundations and then slowly build your way up to the more complicated stuff. Because if you go straight into the complicated stuff, a lot of it does not make sense. There's a lot of physics that is very, very logical, and if you don't have the beginner's logic, like, yeah. What other questions should I practice to make a chapter strong? What do you mean, chapter? If I may ask. What is a chapter? You had to take 2 multivariate health classes. Technically, you didn't take multivariate. There's a separate class. We just finished all the Calc BC, Calc 2 curriculum, so my teacher thought it would be great to teach us multivariate. Yeah, BC didn't take... Like, we were overqualified for the BC exam by the time that we were, like, halfway through the course. It was one of the easiest 5s. With the way that we were taught. Yeah, I did hear that some schools have more than one multi-class. What is NLM? I feel like I'm gonna keep asking you to define terms. Natural language modeling. Oh wait, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I say I'm studying data science, but I'm coming from like practically 0 as of a month ago. Because I didn't have any interest in ML or AI before. I'm only learning it starting probably like next week. ML I did like a tiny bit. But yeah, I don't know exactly how I'm studying right now. I'm just looking up stuff and seeing what sticks. To actually do problems, pretty much the idea for me is just come up with a project and then find ways of having like a guide through doing the data analysis, and then I guess like, yeah, just learning from experience rather than learning how the concepts work at the start. I absolutely would not be able to solve the physics book. I am not good at physics. I'm like really, really bad at physics. I was able to get good scores on the US exams for physics in high school, but did I actually know what I was doing? Not really. Yeah, I wish I could. Yeah. I mean, for AP Latin, I was one of 3 students. The other 2 were juniors. I was a senior, and I was the one that got a 4. They got a 5. The sheer embarrassment of being the older student. and being the one to get the 4. But I was really good at scansion, which is like, if you look at Latin scansion, scansion is just like poetry, and then trying to figure out how it would be read. Back then I was really good at this. Which is more mechanical than actually like understanding Latin. My translations for stuff and like Caesar's writings, looking back, I tried to make it more naturally, make it into more natural English, but it was not it. Sorry, I didn't actually go through anything new today. And it's been what? It's already been close to an hour since I started stream, and I haven't really learned anything new, so I've just been talking. So I'll try to make it a bit more, or I'll try to make some progress before I take my first break, I think. But yeah, thank you for the suggestion. Oh, it's like Pictionary. I have not played Pictionary since 2019. Was it 2019? Say 2019 or 2020. Yeah, I think for breaks for my streams for studying, I mean, like, I'm not actually studying for that long in these streams, so yeah. But usually what I do, because I'm a dancer, usually what I do is watch some dance battles during my breaks. I haven't been able to keep up with many of the dance battles recently, so so we have link function. We got a correlation table. Why did I put this here? Okay, whatever. With replacement sampling. Oh yeah, that thing. Whether or not when you choose a sample, you put it back into the bag. So like if you want to choose some marbles from a bag. When you choose a marble, do you keep it out of the bag when you choose a new one, or do you put it back in and then choose the new one? Actually, sorry, one more thing I want to look up. I want to see what the chemistry questions look like. You have surface chemistry? Dude, I tried to teach this stuff to some US college students last year. It was not easy to try to teach them. Not because they were bad students, but just because, like, their knowledge base wasn't there for learning this stuff that easily. You had inorganic chemistry too? What in the world? Yeah, this stuff. Yeah, you had to be like someone who chose this as an elective to learn in high school. Like this is college level for the US. The number of chiral molecules. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is some crazy stuff for a university entrance exam. I should go back and re-study some of the organic chemistry. I didn't learn it that well when I first ran into it. How would I study this? A lot of the equilibrium problems are based on your equilibrium constant, which is generally only going to have a certain kind of form to it. Products, reactants, concentrations. I don't know how to do this problem. Although it looks like a dimensional analysis problem in disguise. Oh wait, plug of log 10 x over m against log base 10 c gives a straight line with slope 1, value of k. I see. Yeah, problems like these are just dimensional analysis in disguise. So checking units on these values and then seeing what fits in properly. Oh, this one. Yeah, and then doing the math after that. Oh, they also get this. Okay. yeah. I'm glad that I didn't have to take this. I'm really glad I didn't have to take this exam. You have to do magnetic moments? I mean, they gave you the ligands and the oxidation state of the complex. This one's crazy. Dang, this problem's crazy. What the heck? I don't know how to do this one. I guess you just look at the valence of your central atom, and then yeah, based on this oxidation state and whatever ligands it has, you determine the oxidation state for the central atom, check how many bonds it should form based on the valence, and then you should be able to tell what the electronic geometry should be. What's it called? Electronic geometry? Electron geometry, and then yeah, and then you check to see if molecular geometry is tetrahedral. Really interesting. And really comprehensive as an exam. There's so many things on this exam. The math. Yeah. Yeah. Maximum likelihood estimation estimates parameters of GLM. Data variables and layer predictor parameter values. I want to take a look at likelihood functions. Iteratively reweighted least squares. process involves taking the derivative of the log likelihood function with respect to each parameter in theta. Partial derivatives. Setting the just partial derivatives equal to 0, solving parameters. Oh, right. Okay. Okay, we'll just call it that. Iteratively reweight least squares. Considering the nonlinear link function. Okay, and then this is where we got last time. Okay, so eta equals x beta is just the matrix version of I did not write it down over here. Yeah, the linear predictors equation. Beta nu. I forget this too. This I'll look up tonight. Diagonal matrix of weights with weights calculated based on the current estimated beta, reflecting the variance of each observation's particular value. Working response variable. Transformation of the observed values that incorporates the current residuals in the link function. So that just... Okay, so the weights make sense. The Z incorporates the current residuals in the link function. So this is how much each of the variables should be taken into consideration. And then this is the how and in what direction. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that the residuals would inform the direction that you need to iterate, and then the link function is how to actually treat them. I want to look at this a bit more. Where's it grabbing this from? What if you do a funny thing? What? Are you gonna make me into a clown? Again? Can I refund you that? You can't. You can't do that. Yeah, yes please. Or is this your way of telling me you want to be you want to be demodded? Please don't. I need you. Alright, thank you. Imagine how many aura explains you could have. I think you might be the first one who's openly showed that you reached it. I don't know if you're the first one who's actually reached the 100K, but I think it might be the case. Considering it's been, what, like 2 years? Over 2 years? Oh yeah. Congrats on reaching 100K. I think I've only done that on maybe like 3 streams. I reached on Nina's, Seki's, have I reached on anyone else's? Okay, technically berries, but I spent the points. Yeah, I think it's only been like 3 channels. Oh my gosh. Just a flex. I think I've only seen waste points go up to like 1K. 10K is crazy. $10K is so many points for a trash your points redeem. Yeah. Who else's streams? Maybe Yowza's. Depends on how many of those open Gunpla, open Ultraman booster packs I've done. Because I already redeemed VIP on his channel. Yeah. I used to lurk on at least like 4 streams. 3 to 4 streams? Not too many, but for me at the time, it was quite a lot. Well, okay, I would be active. Oh, no, I would be active on 3 streams and I would have as many open as I wanted. But that was when I spent a lot of my free time just watching people's streams. Yeah, now YouTube has its changes with like the view count and stuff. And I don't know how that's gonna go. Yeah, but now that they said something about the like engaged views, I can see how my YouTube metrics have actually played out the way they have. Especially like watch hour count and stuff. I really don't think I'm gonna hit the 4K before the changes happen. I really doubt it. Yeah. I still need to get the thumbnail made for the one Aura Explains clip that I'm gonna post first. I still need to download DaVinci Resolve, but once I get that downloaded, I'll finally start editing some clips and then get the other 2 Aura Explains that I wanted to posted as well, or like made and posted. Unfortunately, both of them are longer than the first one, so it's going to take longer for me to edit. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure DaVinci Resolve's captions are better. Like, there's a better system compared to Premiere Pro. As for like Photoshop and stuff, I'll double check again. I went back to the pin or the saved Twitter post that I saw. I'm gonna double check the safety of that one GIMP add-on that ends up simulating everything you would want in Photoshop. Yeah, so if it's a safe plugin, then I'll add that and then I'll make some thumbnails and stuff. I definitely need to make a thumbnail for building streams though, because I realized that I was just using working stream thumbnail for the building stream that we had a couple days ago. effectively that's how I'm seeing this equation. Yeah, I do wish I was at least like lurking on more streams again. I've also been trying to like not blow up my computer because of the way the last one went down. I want to like baby this one as much as possible, but even right now for these streams, like the simple working streams, I have 2 different Chromes open. One is the one I'm showing, one is the one I'm using for like personal stuff. I have OBS, I have Mix It Up, I have Social Stream Ninja for the shared chat. We have Bongo Cat, Dark Bait. Yeah, it's crazy. Alright, sorry, I really need a pee, so I'm gonna take a little quick break. Crimson, hello! I've been on the lookout for another stream from you so I could join in. I'll try to keep up with your schedules if you post them. Alright, yeah. Sorry, I'll be right back. One sec. Okay, there we go. I didn't wet myself. But yeah, again, welcome in, Crimson. Hello, hello. How are you doing tonight? I'm still doing what actually, yeah, you were here when I was looking at this document last week. I'm still going through it because I didn't end up doing it over the past week. Yeah. I'm kind of really banking on the meeting on Thursday with the staff scientist for making sure whether or not my idea of a project is actually going to be feasible and if it's even worth doing. I mean, okay, it's going to be worth doing because it's going to be pretty much the only way I can show that I've quote-unquote done this before in the PhD. Yeah, I'm really hoping I can figure it out. Hope you're having a productive stream. We pretty much just chatting for the first hour. I was supposed to be done with this by now, but yeah, there was a lot of super interesting stuff to talk about. I found out about a university exam in India that is incredibly hard. I definitely have to study quite a bit to be able to take that exam. And also let me know what stuff I kind of wish I still knew, so I could always take a look at that stuff again. It's fun too, exactly. Yeah. I don't know if it's ever been the case for you, but I always had a fear of doing a just chatting stream unless I have like convention photos to go over or something else to just go over. If I just jump straight into a just chatting stream, and then no one shows up, then I don't think I'd be able. I don't. If I didn't have stuff planned, I don't think I'd be able to do it. Yeah, exactly. Guided just chatting. That one I'm more comfortable with. But also, yeah, just chatting is my favorite part of streams. So I like talking to people. It's so comfy too. Yeah, I think my favorite streamers are the ones that have a very strong just chatting, I guess like just chatting vibe, and then have a good laugh. Oh wait, congrats on first. I didn't even notice that no one redeemed it. Yeah, that's why I like smaller streams. I mean, now I'm branching out to. Well, okay, it's because I naturally have met like people who have more active chats as well. But I was always like strictly 25 viewer and under, something like that. And it's only like this year and end of last year where I've branched out a bit more. I do still like the vibes where people respond to chat more. Some collabs are good because if it's people I vibe with, just listening to them bounce off each other is always really fun. On the other hand, I don't actually. I think for my own streams, I haven't had a really clear vision of how I wanted it to go. So that's why it's been less consistent. At least I got to play a bunch of games that I liked and came to like. So like my first streaming game was Hollow Knight, and I ended up really. I think I've only played a couple games that I didn't end up really liking on stream. One of them just had camera angles that, or camera movement that made me sick every time I played it. What else was there? I think one of them was just too jank. And then oh my goodness, I don't even know if I should restart it, but I don't think I'm going to restart it. I still remember most of what happened. I have not made it that far into the first Ace Attorney game, and I really, really want to catch up on Ace Attorney because I don't want spoilers and watching other people play it. Same thing with Yakuza. Yakuza I've been avoiding because, or like people who stream Yakuza, because I really want to experience it in full for my first time. Final Fantasy games. I don't like spoilers. That's pretty much the gist of it. I don't like spoilers. I avoid them like the plague. Elden Ring, I think, is fine because there's no way I can remember everything that happens. So I'm fine with like tuning into the Elden Ring stream. I know, Ace Attorney's so good. whenever I do get back to streaming it, I will probably ask some people if they're down to read, because solo reading, when there's that much to read, it I would definitely lose my voice again. Yeah, the past few times that the few times that I streamed it by myself, I was so tired by the end. I don't breathe too much oxygen in for a bunch of reasons. So I would get out of breath really fast if I talk too long. Actually, yeah, there is a mutual, Zen, who is a voice actor, and he's recommended a few classes. So if I have the money and time to do so, I definitely want to take one of those like breath control classes, enunciation classes, because I think that would really help with whatever my talking is like right now. The most difficult thing is definitely the brain to mouth connection. Whatever is going on in my head doesn't usually come out the same way when I say it. So I trip up on my words a lot. How's the simplest models fit? Goodness of fit. Okay, so these are all the ways that you can evaluate. Yeah, evaluating different models. Could be cool, always good to hone skills like that with classes. Exactly! I love it. One of the things I miss about school was learning a bunch of different cool things. If I could go back to the time, I don't know how much I'd be paying attention, but I think I would probably capitalize on the breadth of what we were learning back then. I miss like history classes, and then literature classes, pretty much everything non-STEM. Your voice is soothing. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm in the camp of I can't listen to myself talk too long. Yeah, I do want to try some stuff like reading storybooks. That's on my formal return to streaming plans. Yeah, I think I don't know if I wrote it down anywhere, but I have like some stream ideas that I was going for. If I ever come up with any on this off time, I just write them down. Because you know how when you think of something and then you're like, oh yeah, I'll just remember to write it down some other time, and it doesn't happen. Yeah, I don't want to have that happen with some of these stream ideas. You love learning, I just hate being. That's the thing. That's so true. That is so true. For the longest time, in school, I would always say I don't care about the grades as long as I learn properly. I did get mostly good grades in high school, mostly. Not like straight A student, but like, or straight regular A student, but like straight A minus at least, usually. B plus and up. But mostly A minuses. But that's because, yeah, I prioritized learning, and then I guess that just translated to better grades. Not in college, though. College kicked my butt. College kicked my butt so hard. It's a tough hurdle. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's... I'm almost there with, like, the tolerance level. I think if I just speak naturally, then it's not too bad. But if I'm trying to be more like animated with my speaking, or I try to like do voices, yeah, that's where it gets a little bit more uncomfortable. You can't believe you got your degree. I can't believe I got my degree either. I was a chem major, and the first chemistry class I took in college, I got a B, or like a B minus or something. You know, that class, when I was in charge of my own sleep schedule, I was not getting up very easily. My last semester specifically, I did make it to class like, I think I only missed class like once or twice. I think it was like once. But when I first got to college, I was not great at getting to sleep early. So I was also like pretty sleep deprived every time walking into the chemistry classroom. But like the first day, the teacher, she asked the class, "Hey, do you want the lights off or on?" And the seats were super comfortable, and then everyone said off, and I just knew that I would not do well. And yeah, I actually like fell asleep in class a bunch. Other than that, I think it was like the advanced classes definitely kicked my butt the most. Like junior, senior year, those classes were so hard. And if you didn't get it, they couldn't really do anything. It was on you for going to office hours and stuff. And I didn't do that until very later. Like I went to it for, yeah, I went to office hours for the chemistry class that I really liked, just to make sure I was doing the homework properly and so I could learn it properly. But I think it was really only my last semester where I very actively went to my professors for help. Like, I had a mathematical modeling class, like numerical methods class, and I got so many homework answers by going to the professor's office hours. It was insane. I would show him what I already got through, and then he would just show me the answer. Well, I mean, I'd learn it. I'd learn how he got to the answer, but he'd just like show me what the answer looked like, and then I would work it out from there. Like super nice. My chemistry professor, he was like down the hall, so I would just like walk over and then knock on his door, ask him a bunch of questions about the homework. It was really cool though. We were like, for that class, it was a P-Chem class. I think it was 1S wave function 3D plot. Where is it? Oh wait, no. It was a... I mean, it kind of looked like this plot, but like rotated on the y-axis, so it looked like a wave pool. And I actually got to like solve for the function for that, and then plot it out. And it was the coolest thing ever. Like it looked like this. It looked kind of like this. It was so cool. Slept through a lot of classes. I did too. I had a seminar where the professors would come in and talk about their research, and there was this one lady. She's a professor. Yeah, there was this one lady. Everyone knew she was crazy, like crazy in the head. And to probably try not to work with her if you could for research. But during her seminar was the only one where I actually like fell asleep. But not just that, I was in the front row. I was in the front row, like actively nodding off. And I don't mean actively nodding off as in like falling asleep or like regular falling asleep. I was like, my head was literally like bouncing. And then I wake up at the end, and then she's glaring straight at me. And it was so... I mean, it's a good thing I never had to deal with her, but like... Yeah, it was not comfortable. Sometimes it'd be that way, yeah. You're in office hours apologizing? Oh. Kusa. Oh wait, do you speak any Japanese? I asked because of the www. I don't know if I ever went to office hours to apologize. Probably did. For like missing class or something. Yeah. My claim to my own... I was gonna say claim to fame, but so I had major depression in my senior year. So yeah, second semester I ended up not going to class after the second week. And it took like until the end of the semester where student affairs is like, hey, we heard from a professor that you have not shown up all semester. And I'm like, man, with all the classes I took and only one professor mentioned that I just didn't show up. But okay, other than that semester, the first semester I ended up with, I had 5 classes. I ended up with an A, a B, a C, a D, and an F. It was great. The only A that I got was the one that I didn't have to go to. I would like pass in the homework. Wait, did I have to pass in the homework in person? Because I was really, really avoidant already. I think I had some way of passing in my assignments. So I would just pass in the assignments. I ended up with an A anyway. You're just a nerd. Let's go. Let's go. Nerd gang, let's go. Yeah, I will never be able to escape nerdiness. I will always be a nerd, even the way I speak. Like under 10 people, I got noticed all the time when I skip. Yeah. The one professor who spoke up, our class was a class of 5 people. So of course, like me not showing up, he's gonna notice. I don't even remember what class that was. Were you in like a small major or just the college itself? Like the small class, or what was it? The low student to teachers ratio? Deviance. Fitting model and a saturated model. Model with a perfect fit. Lower deviance indicates better fit, but it's crucial to compare deviance relative to other models for the same data. Huh? Wait, goodness if it deviance. I was at like a medium-sized college, so most of our earlier year courses had a lot of people, and then once you get more and more advanced, it fell off. Especially for like P-Chem and inorganic chemistry. Organic, you still have a lot of people, but yeah. Inorganic and P-Chem, a lot of people did not take those advanced classes. You got like, okay, we'll do. I think I'm only going for another half hour, but thank you for stopping by. Again, I'll keep an eye out for whenever you're on. Have a good night. It's generalization of the sum of squares of residuals. In ordinary least squares, the cases where model fitting is achieved by maximum likelihood. Mother, father. I do not know what this means. I just studied this not too long ago. Analyzing the variance between groups. Not the variations within each group. F-test, right. Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into this. Deviance. Pearson chi-squared statistic. Yeah, I remember this. Akaike information criterion. Balances the goodness of fit with the complexity of the model, penalizing models with more parameters to prevent overfitting. The model with the lowest AIC is typically preferred. Okay. Lowest AIC. Is usually preferred. Bayesian information criterion. So this is balancing goodness of fit with number of predictors, where too many predictors overfits the data. Stricter penalty for the number of parameters. Particularly useful in models with large data sets. Large data set models. variation. Okay. I'm gonna look into each of these individually a bit more. Residual analysis. Uh-oh. How far down are we? How much more do we have? 2. Okay. Oh yeah, that's why I stopped, because it would have been too much. Heteroscedasticity. Plotting residuals against fitted values or predictors can help diagnose the issues with the model fit. Okay. Cross validation. Okay, that one I've already looked at. Over dispersion. Particularly relevant in count models like Poisson regression. Over dispersion occurs when the variance exceeds the mean. Ooh. Okay. Recognizing over dispersion is crucial as it can lead to underestimated standard errors. Negative binomial regression or quasi-likelihood methods are alternatives that can address over dispersion. Coefficient significance. This should be something like the oh shoot, we just saw it yesterday. This is like the ranking of predictors kind of stuff, right? Evaluating the significance of the model's coefficients through wall tests or likelihood ratio tests provides insight into the relevance of each predictor. Coefficients of p-values below a certain threshold are typically considered statistically significant. Okay, so wall tests. That I've learned about before. Mostly to see if like certain measurements that you take are pretty much like an outlier. So, or an outlier or not an outlier. Predictive performance metrics. Metrics like the area under the receiving operating characteristic curve for binary outcomes or mean squared error for continuous outcomes offer quantitative measures of predictive accuracy. I'm just gonna copy these over. Thank you. So errors, r squared, precision. Okay. Implementing generalized linear models. Facilitated by various software tools and programming languages offer built-in functions and libraries specifically designed for this purpose. R in Python, R in GLN function. Python stats models. Model fit. Okay, so it looks like kind of the same as the random forest stuff. Okay, challenges and considerations, choice of link function distribution. Need the correct link functions. Based on types of values for your x variables and relationships to the y variable. Model over dispersion. Consider alternative distributions. Multicollinearity, yeah. Okay, so not just with correlation matrices, but also VIFs, variance inflation factors. Non-linearity. So this is just addressed by choice of your link functions, right? Zero inflation in count data. What does this mean? Excessive zeros in count data more than what the Poisson or negative binomial distributions predict. Use zero inflated models or hurdle models that explicitly model the excess zeros as part of the process. Missing data and outliers. Imputation. Right. Interpretability and complexity. I'll just call it like a physical meaning should still be present in your model. Fitting GLMs, especially with large data sets or complex link functions, can be computationally intensive. Realize efficient software algorithms. Okay. Yeah, that one's just par for the course. Called linear if there exists a matrix C element of Rnn such that for all k greater than or equal to 0, the next error is equal to some matrix times the previous error. Are there any restrictions on that? I'm not sure. Condition areas. Okay, yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. This isn't either. What are we looking at okay, on here, this is the thing we're looking at. The new betas. Maybe I should look up directly, generalize. Iteratively rerun p squares. So this thing they're doing here is the likelihood function thing. Oh, that's why we're doing this. Oh. Extension of the weighted least squares method. Start with a short background introduction. In the linear model, we can estimate the parameter of the regression using normal equations. If the relationship between the predictors and the predicted is not linear, we'll obtain errors with an unconstant variance if we insist on using the normal, above normal equation. So here we have the variance included. The variance times identity. So the linear error distribution is still normal. But then here, it isn't. It's a mathematical manipulation that I will not show. I need to look at it though. That's literally why I came to you. I want to look at what's happening. The y variable of a GLM is different from the predicted variable. What? Oh, of a GLM. Okay, because we're using the link function. Okay. Here we see that the y variable is a count variable indicating number of successes. We keep the maximum number of successes to 1 per case, making this a logistic regression problem. Binomial logistic regression does not predict the count of successes, predict the count of success of an instance, but the probability of the success. This distance between the y variable and the desired predicted variable is problematic because we cannot put our y variable to the weighted least squares equation. So we use the RLS. Probabilities can only be between 0 and 1. Ordinary linear regression cannot satisfy this doubling limitation, hence we have the link function. The mu is the probability, but you can use this to model any other variable. The link function has to be differentiable. I mean, if it's the exponential form. Talk about the link function. For our case, we need to find a function that transforms an infinite domain into a 0 to 1 domain. Many functions have this property. Proper link function is the log function. The logit function. lodge it. Have you seen the Z? Oh, this is just the... I think this is just an expansion for this error term. The variance in error can be obtained by the following. Yikes. Okay, I think all the puzzle pieces are... No, they're not yet. Yeah, I think I'd have to like do this pen and paper. Yeah, I think I need this to be done on pen and paper. Okay, so tomorrow I'm just gonna go over all this like stuff that I wanted to look up. I should probably get my Jupyter notebook set up as well, but we'll figure that out later. Okay, yep. Alright, so for tonight, I haven't stopped by Jake's stream in a long time, so we'll be heading over there. Yeah, so thanks to anyone who joined. We'll be able to get some stuff done tomorrow as well. We got the ending stuff. All right. Yeah, and nice to see the new faces on the YouTube side as well. So yeah, we'll be headed over to Jake. Hope you have a good rest of the night, morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And this has been Orclad. I'll see you on the next stream. Bye-bye.